Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I found this replay to cast, courtesy of one of these two users from drop.sc. I didn't pay, excuse me, not drop.sc, but Reddit's Cast It forums. In case you guys didn't know already, you could actually submit a replay to Cast It, and someone will take it from replay format and put it into a YouTube video format. Of course, close to anybody can do this, but you know, it really takes a computer with good hardware to do it, to really make a quality cast and to make it in a short amount of time at that. Now, without further delay and ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce both players. In the lower left-hand corner, spawning as our Zerg in the red trunks, I give you Lexor. Whoa, did I really just say Zerg? I meant Protoss. Protoss in the lower left-hand corner. I'm sorry guys, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, it's all those carbohydrates in my stomach. I've been eating too much pizza. And in the lower right-hand corner, spawning is our Terran in the blue trunks. His name is dUTtrOACh. dUTtrOACh, and he's representing the cNk clan. Not entirely sure what that stands for. But, you know, it's PvT. It's TVP. It's something that's kind of out of my comfort zone, and I always love a surprise. So here we go. It looks like the first barracks is going to be going down, and if this is like the kind of follow-up that I think we're going to see from it, see from our players, then maybe what's going to happen here is we're going to see a full-ish wall-off, and there we go. The probe just kind of runs back there. He's like, uh-oh, what's going on here? And instead he actually sees that there is a barracks in construction over here. He's going to try and harass it. There's no gas going down with this just yet. And of course, we do have gas going down for Protoss right now. And now our Protoss probe has just gone out and saw that there was a refinery in construction, not too far from the barracks. But I'm thinking with the timing that this refinery went down for, it's going to be up, I think, far too late to actually get a Reaper out in a speedy amount of time, meaning that a Reaper would actually be somewhat counterproductive at the moment. There's really, there's really only one way for the Reaper to get in, and it's basically forced to go along this route to do it, without a medevac helping. And yes, I have seen, oh wow, this is interesting, an engineering bay going down between an assimilator and the Nexus. Now, I will say that this is basically the first time I've ever seen this. Of course, it's nothing new to ZVZ, but of course, for me to see this in a PvT, that's really something else. Basically, like, this is gonna hurt gas income for Lexor a lot, and it looks like dUTtrOACh is gonna, I don't know, he's gonna follow this up with just some defensive Marines up here, and he's got enough money to throw down a command center. I'm waiting to see just when he's gonna do that. He's not immediately concerned with the engineering bay actually being destroyed, and here we have Lexor just saying, interesting. Now, the engineering bay's vision does not see that the cybernetics core is complete, but of course, it goes without saying that dUTtrOACh knows that the engineering bay, dUTtrOACh knows that the cybernetics core is finished, and he knows that the engineering bay is going to fall. The only question is just like, is he going to select it in time and cancel it just in time to get his full refund? You know, we got to wait and find out. And every second of this is really going to make the difference. Let's see, is he going to cancel it? No, he doesn't! Oh, man. So, how much does an engineering bay cost? Let's find out. I'd say $150. He's like, or 150 minerals. So let's go ahead and check and see what's up here. Oh, no, 125. And he goes, whoops, he forgot to cancel it. It looks like we have Lexor just hiding a probe out here. And I might just alt-tab every now and then if you guys would just excuse me, because I have an interview with the Collegiate Star League tonight, so please forgive me if I do alt-tab and I click on some Skype window or another. It might or might not be important, but I'm just going to go ahead and open this right now because this is the guy who's supposed to be getting back to me later. I didn't mean to show that on YouTube. Alright, so dUTtrOACh just kind of macroing up, as well as Lexor behind this. Both players' naturals are complete. We do see that Lexor's ahead in worker count, but of course the mules are what's going to give our Terran more mineral income. Probe going out, Zealot going back. And that seems to be all that's happening. He did pick up a kill somewhere along the way. I just can't tell where for the life of me. And if there's any doubt in your mind just what kind of an opener this is, maybe in your maybe you're in Bronze League or something of that nature, this is going to be a mostly bio composition that we can see so far. And the question is, what are we going to see getting researched first? Is it going to be Stimpack, or there it is, Stimpack? And behind all that macro, we see that Lexor has basically opted to go with a Stargate opener. Altogether, he's got 3 gateways to basically hold off against any pressure he may encounter in the early game, which I dare say, with the number of Marines out on the map, if his opponent had Stim right now, he'd be in a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, we got this Oracle coming in, was the first unit being cranked out, and it's going to get as many worker kills as possible on gas before kind of zipping out of there. Of course, Oracle versus Marine, Oracle wins 1 for 1, and Oracles are just slightly higher in attack range than Mutas. Meanwhile, this SCV is going to come in here, and it looks like we're not going to have Lexor really micro to kill it, but it was just going in there to make sure that the natural was finished, and that's about it. Missile turret in construction, just making sure that we aren't going to see any more Oracle harass, but of course the Oracle is still alive, and it's got 2 Phoenixes accompanying it this time around. Meanwhile, a couple more reactors being tacked on for dUTtrOACh. He really wants to get that Marine production out. He does have Marauders in the makes, but he can only make 1 Marauder for every 4 Marines that come out. And, of course, Marauders. Not really cheap, a lot more tanky, but at 25 gas, I think they're relatively balanced units. Twilight Council going down now for Lexor. Excuse me, I almost said Luxor. Lexor. And the Phoenixes and the Oracles coming back in, seeing if they can do any kind of damage. The natural... Yes, it seems that we have basically dUTtrOACh not all that conscious of just what's happening here just yet. And the Phoenixes, I don't know what they're along for just yet. Maybe they... these would actually make good tools for... I'm sorry, I'm trying to think here. They would make good tools for intercepting medevacs in the mid to late game, which makes me think, okay, well, if carriers didn't already have interceptors, they would probably be called interceptors themselves. Alright, so here we go. We got the small bioforce pushing up, and they're gonna try and take down these these stalkers and this stalker and these zealots. But now it looks like they're actually kind of, I don't know, they're content with just killing a pylon and getting out. At least for now, that seems to be the case. And I'm sorry, guys, I gotta exit out of Facebook real quick. I actually didn't mean for that to happen. Sorry about that. Facebook fan page. Never a good thing to have open at the same time as StarCraft 2 client and XSplit at the same time when you are making a recording that's going up to YouTube. Meanwhile, we just have the Marine and Marauder numbers really tacking on. And I gotta say, for just a 2-base Protoss, this is actually a lot of tech that we see right here. You know, not... I want to say definitely not a healthy amount of tech. But it looks like we're gonna have... excuse me. Luxor... We're gonna have Luxor continue to crank out the Phoenixes. He's getting Templar Archives, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see... Psionic Storm being researched relatively soon, but I don't know what to make of this. Meanwhile, behind all of this, we did see that dUTtrOACh went ahead and took his 3rd. And the Oracle here is just being annoying as heck, trying to keep Marines, Marauders, whatever, off of the Xel'Naga Watchtower. And now these Phoenixes are going to go back to the natural, the main, whatever have you, and try and do some harassment. But of course, the medevacs over here are going to catch up with these Marines and heal them for stemming. The Phoenixes need to be microed very carefully, and where in all of this is that Oracle? Right over here. Something that is worthy to mention right now is that with these Phoenixes out on the map, you know, I mean, oh boy, they're trying to target down some medevacs, not really working out for them, but with these Phoenixes out on the map, they're basically keeping the Marines and Marauders off of the Xel'Naga Watchtower. And behind this, we see that dUTtrOACh is throwing down a 4th command center. The position it is presently... I'm inclined to say that it's going to be turned into an orbital command, or just lift it up and then thrown over here, turned into a planetary fortress, and all that good stuff. So both players really just macroing up, putting on the money pants, if you will. And both sides really tacking on the infrastructure. We actually see 5 more gateways being thrown into Lexor's main. Oh, but the Phoenixes, oh my god! Okay, they've been pulled back just in time. Only one of them actually took any damage to the core, and that one's in yellow health right now, but I ultimately don't see why we don't have dUTtrOACh just... I don't know, I'm trying to think here, like, at the beginning of the game, I was just wondering to myself, okay, why didn't he push in? His opponent was actually rather vulnerable at that one stage when he didn't have so many sentries. And we all saw Lexor basically pulled back all of his zealots and his stalkers, but here we go. It looks like... Okay, never mind. It looks like +2 is finishing up for Terran. Concussive Shell is just now getting researched. That's actually kind of critical. Only 2 Marauders in the composition over here, just north of that Xel'Naga Watchtower, and he actually has currently no control over that Xel'Naga Watchtower. Here we go. It looks like we're going to have a little tango between both sides of the Newkirk Precinct. And this is not going to be pretty for either side. Both sides, you know, they're going to have a lot of losses. The Marines and Marauders. These Marauders getting cut off, kind of baiting some storms, and they do a good job of that. It only hits a portion of them, a small portion at that. And now we have the Void Rays, the Marauders, everything just coming into the mix. Another storm kind of wasted by Lexor. And so far so good. I think we still have our Terran just, you know, miles ahead in terms of income, but we really have to see Lexor do something absolutely critical to really hold his ground here. Now he looks like he's aiming to push, but he's only got 2 sentries, and he's gonna have to make like beautiful force fields go down in order for him to really trap this army. But it looks like they're actually opting to do a kind of base trade scenario, and that is a lot of Marauders in the mix right there. Oh yeah, you do not want your Zealots facing off against that many Marauders. Looks like, oh no, beautiful storms going in, and the force fields just trapping out the main army. I don't know what to say to this, guys. It looks like the entire main army of our Protoss was just decimated. Is it a manor pylon, or is that meant for harassment to go down? Right now, it would be a good idea to see Lexor maybe warp in 2 Zealots, have them to go to work on the mineral line here. And he might be in okay position. Somehow we had 1 Zealot survive all that damage. Yes, many forward pylons right now. This one just being picked up on by the Marines, and we do have a couple of Ghost Academies here, which means we're eventually going to see some nukes. I think. Like, I would not be surprised to see them. And it looks like we had our probe trying to put down a 4th, but it just didn't come to fruition. And my initial guess for a 4th base has been picked up on, and it will not be going down. But of course, there's a pylon here to spot for that orbital command once it goes down. And this one Marine just being super annoying. Did it stim up? No, it did not, but it did get the shields off of that pylon. Speaking of pylons, the one right next to the 4th of dUTtrOACh was taken down. So right now we actually see Protoss in a really tight position. He has to really, you know, he has to throw down a 4th ASAP. And so far we actually don't see him doing that. Just as I say it, we do see that there is the blue light icon, if you will, highlighting where we will see a nexus in the near future. And this is looking like it's going to get hairier and hairier for dUTtrOACh. You know, he's getting his 5th right now. That's, I don't know, that's an absurdly fast 5th. Playing Terran like it's Zerg almost, you know? Alright, let's take a deep breath and a swig on some water and just interpret what's going on. Okay, so dUTtrOACh has basically had his eyes taken out, and he replaces them with 2 eyes in the sky in the form of scans. Vikings coming in here. just trying to take down the mothership core here, and I think it's rather interesting to note right now that we still don't see any Colossi in the mix. Not the biggest trend that I've seen on the ladder, but beautiful EMPs going down by these ghosts. And do we have any nukes anywhere? I don't. If we do, I don't have any way of knowing. And it looks like that first Archon was taken down. Beautiful storms going off and definitely doing a lot of damage to the main army of dUTtrOACh. Lexor kind of forced to fall back. The question is, where are the ghosts in this? They are in the main army, but there's no EMPs left. And here we go. It looks like the mothership core was sniped off. And the Vikings are going to do absolutely nothing except harm the Phoenixes and the Void Rays as the Archons go to town on the main army of dUTtrOACh. He pulls back in fear and agony of not wanting to write any more fallen heroes letters home. Meanwhile, dUTtrOACH, you know, he's just so far ahead right now. But at the same time, I just don't know what to say. It looks like this is another orbital command going down, and we're probably going to see it floated to this location. If not, I think more over this location, possibly. And now we have to see Terran come in here and clear these rocks away, but he's not doing it just yet. This fourth is now up, and we have 17 workers being pulled from what is presumably the main to be put on the fourth base. It is, yes. Protoss just doing his best to remax, but right now, you know, we got dUTtrOACH on 200-200 as of this moment. He doesn't have any nukes, which would actually make him the game if he could get some. Here we go, more command centers going down, but it looks like they were actually meant to be defensive orbital commands. And one EMP goes off. No EMPs go off, excuse me. One does just now, and the rest of the ghosts get feedbacked, and the rest of the army of dUTtrOACH is getting chased down, chased back. Beautiful storms going off on them, and this is just back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to make of it just yet. Lexor, of course, still at 121 out of 200 supply. You know, if it's the one thing that dUTtrOACH certainly has working to his advantage, it would be his infrastructure. He could use a little bit more, in my opinion. Yes, let's just check and see just how many barracks he has. He has 11. Beautiful storm again coming from Lexor. He's just trying to do what he can to flaunt that, just flout that Terran army wherever he can. And right now, dUTtrOACH actually has no ghosts in the composition. This is working to his detriment as he stimps forward. He's taking another storm, backs off for a moment, and we have another ghost over here. It's cloaked, so it actually can't throw down. It can't throw down an EMP because it's actually out of energy. And it looks like we got dUTtrOACH just waiting and waiting and waiting for the right opportunity. And finally, we see nuclear weapons in the composition. That's right. We're gonna see dUTtrOACH give his opponent a nice hug with nuclear arms. A beautiful storm goes off at the price of one High Templar. That's 150 minerals, 150 gas. Another one kind of goes off. The medevac count here is just not optimal, I want to say. There's 6 of them, yes, but oh wait, and this looks like there's going to be a triple medevac drop, and it looks like it could be aimed at the fourth. Yes, that is exactly where it is going. But meanwhile, we have Lexor basically kind of stuck over here. He isn't quite entirely aware of just what's happening until now. There is a High Templar coming in. The question is, are we going to see a beautiful storm or not? Beautiful storm or not, it's actually, this is going to force him to pull a significant part of his army. And is he going to lose his fourth base? His third base. That is what everybody wants to know right now. It looks like no, not today, but he is sacrificing his pocket third with a nuke going off. Oh my god. Double nukes going down at this expo, but it looks like maybe, just maybe, we're going to see some probes surviving, maybe some of them being killed. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Just one probe fell from all of that. There we go, the ghost coming up here, sniping all the High Templar, throwing down the EMPs that they can, and now we see the main army of both players going at it yet again. Oh my god, and we just see dUTtrOACH stutter stepping A, moving into that. And there's no storms here really going off at all. Oh my god. This is really back and forth, guys. There is no other word for it. Looks like we got Archons morphing right now, and this one way back here is trying to get some damage done, but unfortunately, you know, for dUTtrOACh, he just doesn't have enough ghosts in the composition, at least not enough with energy on them. He's only got 4 altogether. And it looks like he's actually holding off on making any more nukes for the time being. You know, it's just... This is crazy. But finally, we see Colossi coming into the composition. They're getting thrown into the mix. There are already 2 out on the map and 2 more in production. 3 medevacs, 3 Vikings being cranked out at a time. And I think I see now... Oh, wait. This is kind of silly. Both players just kind of getting right-clicked from one direction to another. More and more command centers, orbital commands and such going down, and both players taking an engagement that was almost missed. The Vikings are going to take down these these Colossi, but I don't think the Vikings are going to get away in exchange. Yes, they are, but you know, it's just a pitiful exchange for Lexor. You know, that's 4 Colossi he lost. They add so much AoE DPS to the fight. And behind this, we don't see him actually researching +1 shields or anything of that nature. He seems oblivious to the fact that he lost just a single probe earlier. There's nothing wrong with that. At this stage, he's more focused on making new expos than maintaining his old ones. And this is no exception. He's finally getting gas at what appears to be his 5th base. And there's a small run by these zealots over here. A lot of them getting just absolute tons of kills. One of them with 14. Hero Zealot. I'm wondering how many workers were lost here altogether. It looks like Lexor got about 14 of them. And finally, we have the small Bioforce from dUTtrOACh coming in to clean this up. This could be a vital mistake that actually costs dUTtrOACh the game. But it's okay because he has so many orbital commands right now that I think he was actually looking to get rid of those SCVs anyway. Defensive position, Planetary Fortress. This command center, I don't know, is more than likely, yes, it is being morphed into a Planetary Fortress. And now we see Lexor, you know, he's going to be in a lot of trouble if he doesn't do something pretty soon. Meanwhile, dUTtrOACh, and there it is, I think this is the answer. Lexor actually throwing down his Dark Shrine, and 7 ghosts coming out at a time from dUTtrOACh. Do we have any more nukes? It looks like no, we do not. And here we go, huge engagement. Planetary Fortress not able to withstand all of that damage. Storms going down in positions that prevent the Bioforce from really charging into all the Stalkers there. 1 Colossus does fall. And the rest of the Vikings basically just fell. And the Ghosts here, I feel, have no energy left for EMPs. Just a handful of EMPs left. 1 Colossus gets chased down. Another one does, and more Stalkers and Zealots are getting warped in to deal with the Bioforce on the ground. And it looks like these Colossi are back here doing as much damage as they can. I don't know, this is pushing Lexor all the way back to his 3rd. This is one of those things that dUTtrOACh is kind of reading as a mistake, but the engagement points, the positioning is what really matters. All these Ghosts are cloaked, and they're actually taking almost no damage here. Is there an observer out on the map? And if there is, just where on earth is it? There isn't one. I'm sorry, that was a misclick. So basically, all the damage that the Ghost just took was splash damage on units that were targeted otherwise. And now we see the, you know, I mean, the initial bases, the natural, the 3rd, for both sides of the map is really going dry. It's already gone dry for dUTtrOACh, definitely, because of course Terran has mules, and they harvest minerals so much faster than SCVs, so yeah. Alright, back to what's in the production tab. We finally have 2 more nukes in construction. I will be jolly as a Polly-Wally, eating a Jolly Rancher when I get to see those launch. Now here we go. It looks like Lexor is getting ready to push into this main army. Vikings, it looks like, are going to do a lot of damage, especially to Colossus that have already been EMP'd. There's just 1 red HP Colossus here, and there's another one with full HP. 0 kills, Virgin Colossus. And now we have 6 Vikings here, a lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders. And the Ghosts, it looks like, are getting ready to launch their nukes. Yes, there's nuke number 1. And what about this guy? He's getting ready to launch a nuke over in this direction. Oh my god. The scan's going down in 4 positions, and it looks like this is going to cost Lexor some economy. And there's that Ghost giving off its attack. And oh my god, the damage here! Lexor now not floating a lot of resources. He's forced to engage here. And it looks like it could be close to the end of the game one way or another. I don't care who wins this game. It's been amazing so far. We see the Colossi trying to vaporize all the Marines that they can. And now the Marauders are just stimming forward, trying to kill the Colossi and the Stalkers. And dUTtrOACh is actually at a lower supply count presently. Some of these medevacs will be shot down without making it home. Yes, that is a lot of supply. We just saw dUTtrOACh lost. And now this is the one and only opportunity that we're going to see Lexor have to push back. And this is what separates ordinary players on the ladder from pros, ladies and gentlemen. Some players simply don't know when to push back, and now it seems that Lexor has finally read into this and said, you know what, this guy's got nothing to fight back with. It's time for me to push in and kill him, especially after taking a nuke on my 5th. DT's coming into the mix, trying to do some damage, but of course, mixed with Zealots, they are a bit of overkill on the mineral line. There's no static defenses here. They would actually be more than aptly able to kill workers there. Scans going down, looking to target down these DTs. And now +3 armors finishing up for Terran, just as it looks like he's about to run out of infrastructure to produce things with. Vikings coming out, getting rallied into the Colossi, losing valuable time that they could be using to shoot them down. And now it seems that dUTtrOACh has been all but eaten from the inside out. Yes, from the inside out, I mean taking the main army in this direction, trying to damage and destroy the infrastructure, and now killing the harvesting structures of dUTtrOACh. dUTtrOACh anxiously, desperately trying to crank out some units to do some damage with them, but I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, if he had defensive nukes, he would be in a better position. I don't see anything that can save dUTtrOACh right now. His opponent at double his supply presently. It's just an aggressive blink forward from Stalkers trying to take down Vikings, and it looks like there's more than enough Stalkers to handle these Marauders, but of course the Vikings trying to take down the Colossi nonetheless. The Colossi will just help seal the deal. The Zealots, the High Templar, everything. Feedback's going down on the medevacs. There is no hope for these Marines and Marauders, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like we are drawing to nearly the end of this game, with the last handful of Marauders being microed. Medevacs pulling out. This orbital command will fall, and if he can get into the main, that would be so much more valuable for him right now. Lexor, of course, just absolutely tearing apart dUTtrOACh, and if he could get the infrastructure buildings taken down, that would seal the deal. That would mean the end of this game, ladies and gentlemen. Zealot's going to work on the nuke silo right now, and behind this we saw that basically Lexor took his number 10 expo. I'm kidding, is more like his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th expo. Yes, 7th expo. This orbital command lifts up, does not get away, and now it looks like these Marauders and Marines were picked up and put down over here, trying to save this planetary fortress. I don't think it's going to work. SCV is being pulled to repair, and this is dUTtrOACh's basically last chance. It will fall with this last volley of shots from the Colossi and the Stalkers, and this planetary fortress goes down. And there's the GG from dUTtrOACh. He says, long game. Lexor says, really fun. And this is what, this is what makes a game of StarCraft so appealing, guys. I mean, when you can just say, hey, it's been so fun. I've had it. I've enjoyed it. It was great. How about you? How you doing, bro? I'm going to submit this to cast it regardless of the results. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Breaker. I'll see you next time. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button.